Wander over yonder, in The Friendship written by Angel She 24, the Kindiest pony in Ponyville. Last time, Wander, Sylvia and I crash landed on a strange, new planet and nearly escaped an exploding demise. Once on the ground, we got into a little trouble with a couple of cute little pony folk in their apple trees due to a little misunderstanding. But once things were settled, we all became friends. We soon went off to the nearby town, Ponyville, to find someone who could help us with our situation, but how could I focus on it when the town was so friendly and lively? Pretty soon, we met a couple more ponies who told us of one in their town who was the kindiest pony out of all of them and probably the friendliest too. Now there was a pony I couldn't pass up not meeting, and thankfully Sylvia was all up for meeting her too. Well, mostly. Wander and Sylvia followed the directions that Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash gave them, and they eventually reached their destination. They came upon a small cottage atop a little hill surrounded by little rivers and grassy burrows, and different kinds of animals were seen all around. "Well, here we are," said Wander. This is the cottage, right?" "Well, Wander," Sylvia responded, "considering on how creepy looking the nearby forest over there is, I'd say that this is the right cottage." Wander hopped off Sylvia's back and stepped forward, taking in all the beautiful scenery. "It's so nice and serene looking, and look at all of these animals here. I'd say that this Fluttershy gal is quite an animal lover. Let's just go and meet her already." Sylvia sighed, and then get back to our business. Suddenly, both aliens saw a single Pegasus fly down from above, a gray mare with a blonde mane. It was wearing a saddlebag filled with envelopes, and it looked like she was trying to stick some of them in a mailbox that was in front of the cottage. "Hey, wait," Wanda wondered, "is that her?" "No, it can't be," Sylvia stated. "Didn't those other ponies say that she has a yellow coat and a pink mane? This one has a grayish coat and a blonde mane." Suddenly, Wanda grinned a bit while noticing the cutie mark on the mare's flank. "PHFFFF, ain't she has bubbles on her butt." "Oh, will you cut that out?" said Sylvia, hitting Wander upside his head. "Why don't we go over there and ask her ourselves if she knows this Fluttershy?" "Great idea," said Wander excitedly. "Wish I'd thought of that myself." As the unsuspecting mare was putting the last pieces of mail in the mailbox, Wander and Sylvia slowly approached her. And when they were near enough, Wander called out to her to make their presence known. "Hey there, miss, pony. Can we ask you something?" The gray mare turned around to the two creatures with a smile. "Yes. We were just wondering." Whoa. Sylvia and Wander were suddenly caught off guard by a feature shown on the mare: her dead eyes. Aside from seeing two very unusual creatures in front of her, the mare was wondering why they were staring at her so hard. What's wrong?" asked the mare curiously. "Is there something on my face? Something strange?" Suddenly, the mare had an idea of what was causing their blank faces. "Wait, is it my eyes?" "It is my eyes, isn't?" Tears started to fill her eyes. "You two think they look stupid, don't you?" Wander began to freak out a bit seeing someone being upset. "What? No. We don't think they're stupid at all. They just caught us off guard, that's all. Am I right, Sylvia?" "Oh, what? Yeah, what he said," Sylvia added. The mare wiped away some tears while smiling a little. "Really, is that all?" "Of course," said Wanda with a bright smile. "As a matter of fact, I think those eyes are very becoming. They suit you very well and are what makes you, well, you." "Don't flatter me so much," said the mare sheepishly. "You're just saying that." Said Sylvia. "No offense, but can we get to our question?" "Oh yeah, right," said Wanda. "We're looking for a yellow Pegasus gal named Fluttershy. Do ya know her?" Pondering in her brain, Dreppy answered, "Oh yeah, Fluttershy. This is her cottage and I was just delivering her mail. She a real good friend of mine and is always kind to me and my daughter." "You have a daughter?" "Yeah, she the cutest little muffin to come from my bosom." "Well, she's the only one, but she's still my whole world." "Wow, how sweet. You must be a really good mother." Sylvia called Wander to her attention again. "Wander, Fluttershy." "Oops, I did again," said Wanda, blushing and scratching her head. "So, Fluttershy, do you know where she is?" "Well, she's not here, that's for sure." "Oh, that's just great," groaned Sylvia. "But don't worry, I think I saw her that way near that huge grassy pasture that way. She hanging out with a whole bunch of animals, but that's to be expected when you can talk to animals." Wander's eyes lit up yet again. "No way, a pony who can talk to other critters." "Focus, Wander," said Sylvia. "The sooner we get to her the sooner you can get all over her." The gray mare was still looking at them curiously, and then it finally hit her to ask, "Hey, are you two some kind of aliens?" Yes, we're aliens," said Sylvia. She quickly grabbed Wander and headed off towards the pasture's direction. "Pretty weird, right? Anyway, we need to be on our way." "Wait," said Wander. "What's your name?" "The name is Dreppy Hooves," Mare answered proudly, "but you can just call me Dreppy." It was nice to meet you. After that, the mare flew off to deliver more mail. But to Sylvia, she was just surprised that she didn't. She questioned more on their appearances. Huh, pretty peculiar for a pony. Off snap, shouted Wander in vain. I forgot to ask her what her cutie mark meant. Out in the flower fields, the pony named Fluttershy was just hanging out with some of her animal friends and just breathing the fresh air of the atmosphere. Angel, her bunny friend, was there too, just lying on the ground and taking it easy. Ah, it's nice to just come out here and lay amongst sun's rays and feeling the briskly air. Don't you think so, Angel? Angel sighed as he nodded his head in agreement and continued to recline back in his position. It sure has been a while since I could just relax and stay calm without any worries for a whole day. Everything is going well so far. Suddenly, Angel sat straight up with his ears and nose twitching as he was suddenly looking around them. Fluttershy saw him and felt that something was troubling him. What's wrong, Angel? Do you sense something? Angel knew there was no doubt about it. He did sense something approaching them. Something that he has never seen before. He hopped around checking the surroundings to see if he could find anything suspicious. But then Fluttershy heard him make a high-pitched squeak as he fled back over to Fluttershy and some of the bigger animals shaking in his fur. What did you see, Angel? Fluttershy questioned. What's going on? Oh, I knew that this day was too calm to be true. Before Fluttershy knew it, she saw a figure suddenly approaching from Angel's running direction. Fluttershy wasn't quite sure what she was about to see, but the safety of her animal friends came first and she decided to stay and meet this persona head-on. When it came close enough, Fluttershy noticed that it wasn't just one creature, there was two, obviously because she saw one riding the other. The riding one was smaller, riding on the bigger steed-like creature that reminded Fluttershy a bit of her own kind, but something was different. She saw the smaller creature hop down on the ground and spoke in a friendly, southern accent. Howdy there, Miss Pony. Oh my goodness, Fluttershy gasped from hearing the creature speak. My name's Wander and this is my friend, Sylvia. Sorry if we scared your little bunny there. He seemed pretty freaked out by some. Wander, said Sylvia. I think it only ran from me. Who? I mean, what are you? Said Fluttershy, feeling strongly curious. I've never seen creatures like you before. Of course you don't, said Wander. We're aliens. But before you freak out, we're friendly. So don't worry about us taking over your planet or anything. Fluttershy was still freaked out, but in a different way. Her eyes shimmered as they widened, looking upon the small alien that stood before her. She took him by surprise as she went up to him and picked him up to hug him. I can't believe it, real live aliens. She then held Wander up to get a closer look at him. And I love your little hat, it makes you look very cute. Gaining his breath, Wander smiled and blushed at the yellow mare. Aw, thanks, you're sorta cute too. After Fluttershy placed him back down on the ground, Wander straightened out his hat and politely asked, so you're Fluttershy, right? Sylvia and I have been just dying to meet ya. He's been dying to meet you, said Sylvia. I guess it's nice to meet you. Fluttershy felt flattered of the strange creatures, but she was also a bit nervous of being the center of attention. But why would you want to meet me? I usually don't stand out too much around here. What? Don't be silly, Wander stated. Word around here is that you're the most kindiest pony here in this town, and the nicest too. Sylvia nodded her head. It's true. I don't know about that. I know that I'm nice, but the nicest? That may be a bit of a stretch. All of the animals who was with Fluttershy were all suddenly gathering around, feeling curious of these new creatures, except Angel, who was still behind Fluttershy from Sylvia. Well, I don't know about you, but seeing all of these animals being so calm around you, I bet it takes a really kind heart to possess such a bond with them. Well, yeah, they are kind friends to me, and I guess it's because I'm so kind to them. Just like I'm kind to all my pony friends. Wander could see Angel shaking behind the mare's foreleg. But he thought that maybe he could bring him back out with his friendly approach as he went near and placed on a happy face. Come on out, little buddy. We ain't gonna hurt ya. Why, we're completely harmless and not dangerous at all. Angel was feeling a little better seeing how nice and gentle Wander was acting, and it was slowly coming out. But then they all heard a small rumble from nearby. They all looked to the side and saw Sylvia lifting a giant boulder repeatedly with one arm. Oh, sorry, she said when she noticed that she was being watched. I was just working out my arms here. She then switched it up and tossed the boulder to her opposite hand. Gotta keep the old limbs nice and loose. Fluttershy was impressed with her jaw gaping, but Angel got scared again and went back into his hiding spot. Wow, said Wander, scratching his head. That was bad timing. Whoops, did I do that? Sylvia asked awkwardly. Fluttershy smiled as she stepped back and picked up Angel and held him comfortably in her hooves. Calm down, Angel. It's not like she's going to bench press you. She then hugged him close to her to calm him down. Here, have a hug. See, doesn't that make you feel much better? Angel did feel better and protected in Fluttershy's embrace as he sighed with relief. Suddenly, Fluttershy noticed Wander looking up at her with a giddy expression. I see, you really are the Kindiest pony in Ponyville. You can't deny it. Fluttershy blushed knowing that she was caught and finally admitted, well, okay, maybe I am, but I don't wish to brag about it. All was a bit awkward and quiet, until another giant rumble that was heard that took everyone by surprise. Sylvia quickly placed down the boulder and was on alert. What the heck was that? Wonder looked all around and shrugged his shoulders. Wasn't me? Fluttershy suddenly held Angel in front of her and his stomach gurgled and made the same rumble sound they heard earlier. Oh Angel, you must be hungry. But the food is back at the cottage. I guess we have to cut this relaxation time short. Sylvia was weirded out that a giant rumble like that came from a rabbit's stomach. But then she noticed Wonder looking at Fluttershy and Angel in their situation. Wonder, you have that look in your eye. You have an idea, don't you? Wonder zipped up in front of the yellow mare and presented his thought. Wait, I have an idea. And there it is. Fluttershy and Angel looked down at him curiously and Fluttershy asked, what are you talking about? I can get something for your rabbit friend, and I don't even have to leave this very spot. No way, how can you do that? Angel shrugged his shoulders and smirked. He knew that he couldn't possibly be telling the truth. But Wonder proved him wrong as he suddenly took off his hat and raised up his non-holding hand. Like this. He reached into his hat and rummaged in it a bit. Then like magic, he pulled a fresh carrot out of his hat. Ta-ta! How does the little critter feel about this? Angel took a good whiff with his nose, then suddenly licked its lips as it jumped out of Fluttershy's and grabbed the carrot and began to eat it happily. Fluttershy was very surprised at Wonder's little trick and was wondering on how he did it. Wow, that's amazing! You pulled out exactly what we needed. Exactly. This amazing hat of mine gives you not what you want, but what you need. A head that gives exactly what you need at any given time. Fluttershy knew that there was only one explanation for it, that hat must be magic or something. Wonder never thought about that. You could say that. It definitely has gotten us out of some rather tight situations. Suddenly, Sylvia tapped Wonder on his shoulder. Wonder. He looked up and saw all of Fluttershy animal friends looking at him and his hat very closely. He chuckled while having an idea of what they wanted. So, who else here is hungry? All of the animals made different agreeing movements while cheering wildly, signifying that they were all hungry. Oh my, Fluttershy gasped. That was all Wonder needed to hear. He was glad to grant their wish. Very well. Hat, to your tang. With one big swing of his arm, he threw his hat high up in the air. And as it floated down, many forms of food for all of the animals there started to drop down onto the ground. Sylvia and Fluttershy both stepped back as the animals all rushed in and began eating their gift. Wonder then held out his hand and caught his hat as it ascended back down to him. Well hat, he said brushing it off, you've done it again, my friend, and then he proudly placed it back on his head. Fluttershy stared at the entire scene in shock and then smiled, feeling astonished at what this little alien accomplished. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. That's Wonder for you, said Sylvia with a smirk, helping others without any self-thought. She then walked over to Angel, who was just finishing his carrot. He suddenly looked up and saw her looking down at him, and at first he was a bit hesitant, but then he hopped onto her shoulder and nudged her cheek. See, I'm not so scary now, am I? Said Sylvia while scratching his chin. Angel smiled as he repeatedly thumped his foot. Well, thank you so much, you too, said Fluttershy happily. I never would have thought I would be helped out by a couple of aliens. So weird, says the flying Pegasus, said Sylvia. Is something wrong with that? Well, let's just say that in some places, Pegasi and unicorns aren't exactly known to be, well, real. Seeing Fluttershy happy because of him, and all the animals well fed, Wonder had a big, proud smile on his face knowing that he did a major good deed. Well Sylvia, I feel like I did an awesome 10 here, and I feel satisfied finally meeting Miss Fluttershy here. Sylvia smirked and crossed her arms, which means, yeah up, now we can find some pony to help us. Some pony? Said Sylvia arching her eyebrow. The pony language. It's contagious. Realizing that they were about to leave, she was curious of what their business was. Wait, what's going on with you guys? Why you know, if you don't mind telling me, Sylvia answered her, we crash-landed here in a busted-up ship. Please don't ask, and we need to find some pony here who could help get us back on our feet. But great, now I'm saying it. It is contagious. Well, I am sorry that I can't help you with that, said Fluttershy sadly, but I hope you find some pony who can. It was great meeting you. Same here, Miss Fluttershy, said Wonder, never changed the kind attitude of the years. It's totally you. And, try to lose some of that shyness, said Sylvia, it's a little unnerving. Try being more energetic or assertive or something. Fluttershy just sheepishly smiled. I'll try. Wonder hopped on Sylvia's back and he waved at Fluttershy and her animal friends as they walked off, and they all waved back. Sylvia smiled a bit, looking over at Wonder, seeing how he felt. The kindest pony in Ponyville, huh? I never would have thought to. Maybe we could see her one more time before we leave here, said Wander excitedly, hanging onto Sylvia's neck. Don't you wanna? Sylvia just shrugged and responded, we'll see. But I'm not promising anything. After Wander and Sylvia left, Fluttershy fell back down on the ground on her back to relax again. Angel came up beside her to rest his happy tummy and smiled as he lay down beside her. Ah, and here I was worried that this day was ruined for us, Angel. Those two were very nice, and it's amazing that they come from another planet. I wondered if any of the other girls saw them already by any chance. Angel didn't really care as he snuggled up to Fluttershy. But he knew that Fluttershy was right about one thing. Those two alien were awesome, even the one that scared him. But just as they were about to relax again, a little robin flew down in alert, and Fluttershy could tell that something was up. Sigh not again. What is it, little birdie? The robin told her of something that it saw, but it was unclear of what it was. Oh, what? You saw something up high in the sky. Something big and scary. The bird wanted her to try and see what it was, but the yellow mare was shaking, feeling unsure of doing that. Oh, I don't know. It might be too dangerous, but the bird pleaded that she check it out. It might have been important. Soon, Fluttershy agreed and decided to go anyway. Why right. I shouldn't be such a scaredy pony. Ella led the way. Fluttershy followed the robin way up into the sky, so high that she was suddenly above the clouds, shaking slightly in fear. But she didn't let that bother her. She stood her ground and looked all around but didn't see anything. Whoa, this is high. But I don't see what you are talking about. Are you sure you weren't seeing things? Suddenly, a giant shadow slowly loomed over the Pegasus mare and her robin friend, but they both turned around and saw a huge, gigantic figure approaching them from behind. And Fluttershy was shaking even more as the mysterious object stared at her with glowing red eyes. Oh, my, what is that? Back in Ponyville, Wander and Sylvia still couldn't find anyone to help them out, but they decided to take a break and have something sweet to eat. That led them to Sugar Cube Corner, where they were welcomed and serviced by Mrs. Cake. Thanks a lot for the free treats, Mom, said Wander. I was really getting a sweet tooth. Don't worry about it, said Mrs. Cake with a smile. It's all compliments of Pinkie Pie. She sensed that you two were going to stop by here and requested it to me. She told me all about you two. Oh, did she? Said Sylvia with an arched eyebrow. Man, news travels fast, so how to